Hello, welcome to the iRacing E-Series live here from Daytona International Speedway under the lights here for some Xfinity car racing now. For race number 4 of the inaugural season of this series. You see the drivers going on track qualifying. Just a little under a minute and a half left for these guys to turn a couple quick laps and come in order for the grid. As you see, as Ratchet's actually not going to complete his lap. There's the 30, he's going to try to get up to speed, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to actually make this really work. This Bobby Hash, excuse me. So he's going to come across the finish line and start his first lap. Actually, he might just have enough time. Let's look here, top 5 here maybe, or maybe not. He might just have enough time. It's going to be extremely close, but we're going to have to see here. He's kind of running a really great line through the corner. Which way he goes, it's going to be very, very close as far as where he comes out on. He's running a pretty good trim next to that yellow line. He kind of came off the corner quite enough. Let the car kind of straighten itself out, but anyhow, as he comes off turn number 4, he's going to probably cut the apron here, or maybe not. In regards to the finish line, the tire won't be the fastest. We're going to see second, so got pretty close to just taking time with a few seconds left to spare. So pretty good run there by Bobby Hash. Not quite enough to get the pole, but that's all it takes is just little tiny. Sorry about that. Just takes little tiny things such as that, and little tiny movements that you saw. He didn't cut the dog leg off the corner. He did a couple little tiny mistakes. That's all it takes. As now these guys are gonna grid up here. Get set for 65 laps around this 2.5 mile super speedway. So we're going to take a look now at your starting grid here. Just a moment. Just have the grid up here. Get set for 65 laps. Let's take a look at your track info here at Daytona International Speedway. 2.48 miles, 4 turns, of course, 65-degree track temperature right now. Looking in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I'll take a look at your weather here for this lovely night here of racing at Daytona Beach. 65-degree air temperature, pretty cold, especially for this kind of track. Looks like wind direction's kind of south right now at 3 miles an hour or so. Looks like dynamic weather is on. It's pretty interesting. 100% humidity, 0% fog, and overcast sky conditions. So now these guys had a grid up. Let's take a look at your starting grid. I'll line them up here for the iRacing E-Series. Brent Wilson will get the pole here, the 49.664. Just outside Bobby Hash in the number 30 entry there. He will start from the outside pole. Row number 2, we have Jay Spears in the number 7 machine. It was outside 38. Chris Usher in that Valvoline Chevrolet. Row number 3, we have Nathan Hall in the 42 machine. It was outside Scott Leitner again. Apologize for the blue numbers. I forgot to fix that for this race with the whole Taylor Truck Series chase. So my apologies there. But 66 machine right there. Again, just to remind you guys that 66. A blue number means absolutely nothing in the series. So my apologies there. But then row number 4 here, we got the number 1 of Jason Pop, 1 Talladega in the Xfinity cars. We're going to see if we can go for the Xfinity sweep here. Tahir Khan, maybe, on his outside in the number 33 Wrangler Chevrolet. Then running up behind him, Ethan Foreigner, and a familiar name here on LCTV. We're actually in the 3rd in that number 48 Ashmore for Xfinity Series Chevrolet Camaro. As you know, broadcast this series every Sunday night, so pretty cool to now have him racing here in a different series. Now they'll line up behind him. The first Ford in this field here. Jeff Spooner in that number 44 Burger King Ford Mustang. Then right on his outside, Eric Reinhardt in that number 710 machine. And then right at your field for qualifiers, so 27 Red Bull Chevrolet Camaro of Dino Crossit. And then some of these guys back behind Xavier Tratt, not turning a qualified time, along with Russ Nash and Brian Buzard and Cody Trudeau. Looks like they actually have some issues trying to keep the field here. But that line up for tonight's action. So, of course, glad to have you with us here on a lovely Friday night. Hope you all having a wonderful night. You get set for 65 laps here of Daytona racing. As iRacing.com official pace car. Let him make his way on the pit lane and get race number 4 here fired up and ready to go. The pace car race in.
Green flag.
And firing his mission, Brennan Wilson to the field to the green flag. Green flag's out. These guys on the gas. Race number 4 underway for the iRacing series. Great start by that 510 machine. He actually gets a pretty good jump. The 7 Jay Spears right there trying to now suck up the back bumper of him and push him. Maybe push him ahead of the 30 and try to get the outside. Looks like he's going to sit to look behind the 510 entry now. At this current moment, it's 38. Chris Etchepair pushing that 30 machine up in that top lane. So it looks like we're about 2 cars up in that top lane. Then you got a pretty good sized gap back. So you got 3 guys back there. The 66. Oh, almost in contact. 33 and 48. As the last 2 races here have both been Daytona night. This is the third straight race of Daytona night. Every single one so far we've seen a lap 1 big one, but it's not happening here tonight as they complete lap 1 under green in the 501 machine. Your pole sitter will be attempt by the stripe. As that looks at the inside lane, Will Vale currently going into turn number 1. The 7 actually gets clear. The 30 now has some connection issues in that top lane. Escher going to try to get 3 wide through the middle now for that 4th position. So they're 3 wide now, 4 fourths. Going to get a bit airy here to start things off. As out of 7 of Jay Spears goes to the outside. Great move to the outside. However, didn't really have any help to go with him. Maybe expected the 1 machine there, Jason Pop, to go with him. Jason decided not to stay tucked up behind that 501 machine. Now he gets clear the outside lane. Does he drop up? He's thinking about it. Looks like it's not quite clear yet anymore. Is then that 30 going to push the 38. And 2 laps now in the books, clean as a whistle. They're still jockeying position for this entire field, as you see. The outside lane pretty spread out, not quite as formed up as the inside lane is, or quite as organized, but they're still definitely a threat. However, now they're starting to fall further and further back. Right on board. This is 7 machine Jay Spears and that GoDaddy Chevrolet. On the outside there at the 33 and 81. Gonna try to get a run here through turns 3 and 4. Try to get the run off the corner. That's where we build up the speed. Get the run is off the corner as long as you have the guy tucked up right behind you. It looks like he does. It's a good run right here going into the travel. Oh, right. Oh, man, that is not. Oh, that is not good. Big one with cars up in the air. All right, see the 501 machine. Brandon Wilson gets right hooked. It goes upside down. Barrel rolls in the travel. Backs in the outside wall. Hard looks at the 7 machine involved. The 44, the 710, the 38 all tore up. Looks like the 9 makes it pretty clean. A lot of cars damaged here. 66, a lot of front end damage there. The 4, looks like he's actually clean. The 27 all tore up. 33. Almost your entire field taken out here. The 48, Ryan, he has some issues. Right side there, right rear, right front. Looks like everybody else is clean, but looks like a right hook. Just miscommunication there, or accidental right hook pretty much into the wall with the race leaders. I believe it's the 1 machine who turned the 510 machine. Let's take a look now from the TV cameras were on board there for that one. So you see right here, 1 is right there on the rear bumper of the 501, turns him down the racetrack going into the travel. He's getting pushed by the 81, so he can't really do anything about it. He's getting pushed from behind. He just has nowhere to go except for the guy in front of him. The 501 goes down the track. The 1 tries to follow him to avoid left hooking him, but then when that happens, he accidentally right hooks him up the racetrack, head on the outside of the wall, and as soon as this happens, you already know it's not going to be very pretty. Hits the 7, gets launched into the air. 33 gets involved. 38, hard hit in the outside wall. The 44 piles in. 48, Rogers actually drives underneath the flipping 501 machine, as it looks like the 38 also got hit, as the 66 T-bones the 44. Hits the 501. It's the 501 that go upside down. Then gets hit once again by the 7 before backing up pretty hard into the outside wall. He's going to go on board now with that 501 machine of Brendan Wilson. Take a look at the ride he took here. Right here is going to the travel. Gets turned around direction, goes left and right. Happened so fast. It's launched up into the air. Engine blown. Gets hit, knocked around. Still up in the air. I think it's in the air long than it was actually the pavement there. Lands it. Gets hit again. And ends up backing that. It's like, well, tough break. Our Pulsar led the first 2 or 3 laps there under green. And then, unfortunately, goes for a wild ride here. Daytona pretty early. Unfortunately, I'm going to go on board now with the 1 machine here of Jason Pop to see exactly. Actually, I'm going to go from a chopper camera here and see if we can see if there was contact between the 81 and 1 machine. So you see the 1 actually, he pushes. It looks like there's no contact as of right. Yeah, he pushes the 501. 501 that gets moved up the racetrack because of it. He goes down the racetrack. You see the 1. Either he got kind of stuck to his rear bumper, or he tried following him down to try to avoid left hooking him. And in the process, however, as the 501 hits the apron, checked up, the 1 pretty much got into a corner panel. Nothing the 501 machine there could have done. If Brandon Wilson, he gets hit hard into the outside wall and gets launched up in the air multiple times. 6 piles in there. Actually, we're going to go on board now with the 48 of Roy Atchison as he ended up driving underneath the 501 machine. I'm not sure how much damage he got. We saw a little bit of damage there on that Atchison for Xfinity Series Chevrolet Camaro, but we're right on board with him. Sees the accident happen. Hard to hit. Hits the flipping car, but nothing too severe, I don't think. So it should be decently okay to not have to use fast spare. Although it looks like he actually did use the fast spare, so that is one of like a couple fast spares. As the 27 actually blows up under caution. I want to look back what happened there to the 27 machine. Misshifted accident. Looks like, it sounds like he put it into first gear by accident. Ended up blowing his motor up after he actually used a faster to fix his damage from the first accident. So there goes his first 2 faster already, as he, on top of all things, actually had to tow to pit road. So bad night goes to even worse here for 27 machine. 27 of Daniel Crosset. So had to use a fast spare in the accident. Accident shifts into first gear under that caution. And then had to tow back to the road, so I was going to fall way behind the field, and already has no fast spares left. It's actually, the field is set back double foul here for the restart. The 81 machine now. That is the 81 of Ethan Fournier. So Ethan Fournier will lead the field with the green flag here to get set for the first restart of the nights. And yeah, big oops indeed there, Daniel, but got sacked the foul once again. You see a lot of these guys up front involved in the accident. 66 there even did not actually fix his car, so he still has that damage from the accident. But 48, he got a big piece of that. This 501 obviously got a huge piece of that. He's up here only in his 4th row, so actually did not affect a lot of these guys' track position overall, as most of the field is involved in that. You see some guys pit road there, the 427, the 710, and the 44 all on pit road. It's a pace car going on to pit lane, and the 81 machine, a Foreigner lead field. It's the green flag here, which is flying. We're backing away here, up to speed here at Daytona. We'll start there by Nathan Hall. Gonna try to select up and push the 81 machine. There's some connection issues there. And that pink Monster Energy Toyota Camry. To get up through the gears and up to full speed and full song. 30 up there all by himself. Bobby Hash, no help. As 66 is damaged on the top lane, so they don't have any draft because we're actually now down low. The 501 looks like he'll pity him, goes up there with him behind, and he'll try to push him up here and give a shot at the race lead. This is the 710 machine now. That blue and red to the camera. He'll go a lap down here. So tough night for him so far in this one, but it could be worse, I suppose. We're going to drop low and we should work the way around. Actually, he's already 2 laps down, so I believe this will put him 2 laps down. He's already 1 lap down. That's what I think anyhow, based off what I'm seeing here, but nevertheless, these guys going to the corner. And one thing I do know about these Xfinity cars is it's extremely easy to bumper hook. I can't tell you how many times either they've been hooked or I've accidentally hooked somebody pushing them, because you just don't, I don't know what it is about these cars, the way the hood looks or whatever, but you can't tell you're pushing the guy in front of you until you have to hook him around. I mean, you feel like you're behind him far enough, you're not touching him. You want to be close as possible, obviously, but and that happens quite often, actually. So you're going to probably see some more of that. We kind of saw right there, the one machine hooked the 501, that brought out the last caution. Meanwhile, Ray Russell actually works his way back through the field to the front. It's pretty impressive. As you see the 44 that Juice Spooner going to go a lap down, but 2 laps down, excuse me. But you know, it's pretty hard to realize where your I guess field of view is. As looks like the 44 actually going to cost them traffic check up there. As the 501, 38, and 42 all get split up and have to drop back in line behind that inside lane. Is on the 7 though. It looks like he'll go to the top. That's Jay Spears. Yes, Jay Spears in that. Now 81 actually looks like he's over for the race lead. He'll go ditch the 30 machine of Bobby Hash, goes to the top side. He'll try to fight and battle for that race lead. So that at the stripe, the good run Chevrolet will do that time by that circuit around the track, as now work on to lap 11 of 65. There's still 55 laps to go left in this one. As now with the way few turns 1 and 2 as always. Now, top lane, getting more organized actually than the inside lane. You got 4 cars versus 4 cars, or actually not kind of 5 cars versus 4 cars. So you got more people closer together. It's not an 81 actually gets pushed to the race lead, but the 30 kind of falls behind him. It's going to cost him some time now to the 7 of Jay Spears and the 38 of Chris Uchipair. But the 33 and 7 of 10 kind of fall off their rear bumpers as the 30 almost hooks the 81 out of the race lead. So it's side by side now off turn 4, like I'm across the start finish line at 7. Be that time by the straight in help there with the 38 of Chris Uchipair. More laps off the deal with the 27 who had those issues under caution. Already has used both his fast cars, unfortunately, so just trying to make it the best way through this race without going too many laps down or too far behind or whatnot, or just main goal not getting wrecked. As in one caution, he used 2 faster pairs. As now 81 hooked up the rear bumper of the 7 of Jay Spears. Has to go down the back straightaway and put the 27 2 laps down now. As some guys going up the racetrack. Gotta get down. Looks like they're going to do a pretty good job to work their way around that Red Bull Chevrolet. So it looks like they're all going to be good to go here. Maybe not the 44. 44 actually will stay behind him, but again, E2 is actually 2 laps down, so they're much race position, so it doesn't matter a whole lot anyhow. He's down at 7. Has a pretty marginal lead as the outside lane has kind of gotten shuffled around and moved around. And not a lot of guys are really up there trying to fight for position. So now you got the 38, Eschepair, who pushed the 7 to race lead. Now trying to just follow that drive. Now the 81 actually will pull out, but there's absolutely no help behind him. So you have to pretty much drop like a rock here until he gets caught with the 38. If the 38 decides to go with him here, as the 38 is huge out of scene, this might be an accident. 81 has some connection. It's just the 710 has to check up and did a great job not to spin each other for sure. The 710 there would not see that happening and accidentally run over the 38, but he got in the back with just a bit, but was able to continue on going. So 14 laps now completed here from, 13 laps completed now from Daytona. Only 1 caution so far. So these guys did a great job here tonight and having some really great racing, which is we always like to see. They're right on board with the 81 here of Ethan Foreigner on that top groove, leading the outside lane. Going to try to side draft the race leader here of Jay Spears. Going to try to pull us up alongside and up ahead of that inside group. Then they come off turn 4. 7 actually has a pretty good run. 81 However, has to run off the corner as the outside lane usually does. And with drag races, the finish line is 7 early left hand by at the stripe. That lap led. So they're still side by side, battling for position and now. Chris Echeverria in the 38, pushing 81 actually. 81 Foreigner, Ethan Foreigner looks like actually will get pushed through the race lead, gets clear up the 7 machine along with the 38. They both get clear. They both drop down for the race lead. So another lead change add on to the long list already here. As we're going around another lap car now. It puts himself on the wall. 6 has to avoid him. Oh man, great job up to hit him right there. That looks like that is the 4 machine there. Critical will kill. I have some issues. He's gonna go on a lap down. Oh, the 33 gets pushed out of line, but they managed to hang on to it. So these guys really on their game here tonight. 15 laps completed, only 1 caution, and a lot of very close calls and a lot of really tough moves to make, or really tough choices to do and whatnot. And so far so good. As that a 38 Chris Echeverria. He's sick and tired of pushing guys to race lead. He wants to get pushed to the race lead. He's down at 710. Will in fact do that. Again, the 710 is 2 laps down, not racing position. So now the 38 Chris Echeverria will get pushed to the race lead. He's looking for the 7 now of Jay Spears. Going to try to get to the outside, push that 710 entry, and get him up alongside his leader so he can try to get ahead and get clear. As the 38 leader 10 by the stripe. And actually, I think back what I say, Chris Echeverria himself actually seems to be, well, not down actually, so never mind. I apologize for that. He is actually not leading the race right now. He's in front of his field along with the 710. The 710 is currently now 1 lap down, but basically 2 laps down, and the 38 is basically also 1 lap down. So he's actually not racing position, so my apologies for that. I did not notice that just until now. As the 81 though will push that lap car up ahead. He's just packed side by side. Going into turn number 1 here. Getting pretty stacked up. See what this guy's gonna make sure they're listening to their spotters. A line and whatnot. So the 84 there, Xavier Trap already making an aggressive move, slides it right there in front of Nathan Hall in that 42 machine. Aggressive but clean. Gonna try to push this outside lane up further and get himself further up into this battle for the race lead and whatnot. So over the 42, actually he'll drop down low and go underneath that 84 machine. Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack. Oh, big wreck. Looks like the 27 might be involved, and that might end this night. The I-machine is involved for sure. Yep, there's the 501 machine at 27. He's equipped with damage, but nothing too serious. And I could tell it. Take him out. Okay, never mind. He's got a lot of damage on that machine. It's a tough break for him. As 501 machine, Brendan Wilson, that's the 2nd wreck now he's been involved in it, so that will also take out all his fast bears. The 9 of Brian Buzard. A lot of damage. 48 of Roy Atchison, a lot of damage in that machine. So that'll bring out the 2nd caution flag of the night here. We had a pretty long green flag run right there. So pretty disappointing to see it all come down to a caution like that, but so far so good. It was going pretty well, and finally it had to happen eventually. So let's take a look now what exactly happened with this field to bring out this caution. As it looks like here, go back to the replay now. You see this field of cars. This one Jason Pop decides to go through the middle 3 wide through the travel. Not exactly a very good spot to do that in. Looks like the 48, the Roy Atchison actually comes up to the track just a little bit, makes the contact. The 1 then goes up, hits the 27 as the 48 realizes he went out by accident. When it goes back down the track. 27 then gets turned into the 1, and it actually looks like they would have probably maybe saved it. However, the 48 then gets hit in the right rear corner panel while the 1 machine goes head on to the outside wall. A lot of that code there between him in the 27th. 27 goes for a spin. Player number 1 has nowhere to go for Paladin. And then actually, as he spins, collects the 9 machine, who's just trying to drive him by as an innocent victim there. Tough break for him. He's going to go aboard now with the 501 machine of Brendan Wilson to take a look at that from a different angle. So he's actually directly behind these guys. So you see him. These are the ones that's through the middle. Pretty risky move. Kind of aggressive with this early on, but there's the contact. There's the wreck, and they're going to be good to go until them at 27 gets right hooked, and then a net killer that gets hit. Tags 9 in a spin, and just an unfortunate course of events there for a lot of these drivers. As it looks like they all did make pit stops, and they'll get their cars repaired here and whatnot. Some guys are going to take the free pass, the wave around and such, but we're taking a quick commercial break. We'll go right back.
Hey guys, Christopher Bell here. As you guys know, iRacing is coming out with dirt, and it's been a long time coming. So I'm here today to kind of show you around the sprint cars and hopefully give you some insight for whenever you first drive it. So here we are at Williams Grove, gonna go out and make a couple laps in the 410 wing sprint car. I'm on default setup with a gear change of the 522. As we roll out of the pits, you guys might notice that the car wants to pull left and you have to hold the steering wheel right to go straight. That's normal for a sprint car because you have so much stagger, it's always trying to turn the car left. Once you get up to speed, that goes away. Going down the straightaways, Williams Grove has really long straightaways and really tight corners. The big wings on the sprint cars, it always wants to pull you left into the corner, so it doesn't take much steering wheel input to get the car into the corner. A big key for the wing sprint cars is that they always like to go straight. They don't like to be too sideways. So the less steering wheel input you can have and the straighter you can keep the car, the faster you'll go. As the track slickens off, you'll be able to play with the setup to get the car driving even straighter yet. And that's a couple laps around Williams Grove. So here we are at Eldora Speedway. I'm on baseline setup with a gear change to a 511. As we roll out at Eldora Speedway, one thing that you'll notice is that the corners are really sweeping and it's almost a circular shape. The big thing about Eldora is just keeping that steering wheel straight. The straighter you keep the wheel and the less steering input that you give the car, the faster you'll go. The fast line around Eldora will be right around the inside wall in the corners and then with a big arc towards the outside walls down the straightaways. Then once the track slicks off, you'll be able to follow the groove up towards the outside wall, where the famous Eldora High Line comes into play. So now we're at Volusia Speedway Park with the 410 wing sprint car. I'm on baseline setup with a 511 gear, the same as what we ran at Eldora. Whenever you roll out on the racetrack, you'll notice that Volusia is similar to Eldora. They have long sweeping corners, and it's kind of circular in shape. At Volusia, whenever the track is fast, you'll want to be right down against the concrete wall in the corners with a nice big arc down the straightaway. Whenever the track starts to slicken up, you'll be able to follow the groove up higher and higher. Whenever you get into turns 3 and 4 though, the groove might get up onto the shelf, which is the flatter section of the racetrack. And then it becomes very difficult to exit turn 4 without getting into the wall. And that's just one of the characteristics of Volusia Speedway Park. Hope you guys have fun.
changes. We'll give you 4 tires. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Hello, welcome back to Daytona International Speedway here for the iRacing E Series. Brought to you by EAS Salon, along with, Compressed Auto Salon, along with DCH Crane, both fish partners of the iRacing E Series. Green flags out on our way here once again from Daytona. Number 7 machine, Jay Spears, the first time tonight. We'll leave the field with green flags. The 30 though on the outside and actually gets the advantage. Bobby Hash who leads him by the stripe. The question is, did he jump it? That is the one and only question. He did lead him at the start finish line, so we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens here. Is they're side drafting hard, almost some contact right there. Very aggressive here early on. Still have over 40 laps to go left of racing, so only 2 fast bursts these guys have, and already we've had 2 big ones, and a couple drivers already get knocked out of the race. So as on the 33, looks like he's gonna push the 30 of Bobby Hash for the race lead, but now the 81, who was leading for that pit stop cycle, happened. The 33 almost hooks the 30. Very close bumpers right there. So 7 looks like he may have the advantage here going into the trial. And across the stripe, yes indeed he will. The 7 of Jay Spears leading by at the stripe. As the inside lane, actually only 3 cars pretty much, and you got a huge gap back to the 66 machine back there. As the 30, oh, the 33 hooks the 30 into the 81, and there we go, another big wreck. It almost happened earlier in one of those corners. Jason Pop, oh, hard hit, and he said, well, the 48 of Ryan actually gets caught in another accident now, I believe, end his night. The 30 of Bobby Hash. And I knew that was going to happen. It almost happened a couple times before too, so he got some damage. 81 got a piece of it. And it almost happened earlier in the race. Not earlier in the race, but only a couple laps ago, actually. Looks like the 501 machine, more rear damage on him. He's already been taken out twice. 710 has damage. The 6 machine, Russ Nash has damage. The 9 has more damage. 4 of Cody Trudeau has damage. Oh my goodness. It almost happened earlier. Actually, we're going to look back what happened there. As by the way, the 27 machine did in fact put it behind the wall. It almost happened. It almost happened here in turns 3 and 4. Very close right there. And then fast forward just a little bit here. And we get into turns 1 and 2. And sure enough, just classic bumper hook here. And then down into the 81 machine. The 42 does a great job to try to go down and miss it. Gets in the 1 machine just a bit. The 48 ratchets down where to go to 1. Nowhere for him to go. The 710 gets a piece of it. And then the 6 and the 501 try to miss it. The 6 then, plows the back of Ratchetson right there. I'll take a look now from the chopper camera. At this one. Lots of left hook down to the racetrack and up in the front of the end of the field. And that's all we really have to take here, unfortunately, because yet another big accident, and you're gonna see that probably happen quite a few more times at Daytona. That's bound to happen. As we're on board now with the 33 machine of Taylor Khan. Oh man. Just hooked him around. It was just enough to set off the wreck, and it was everybody pretty much. So I'm going to run on board with the, as actually looks, yeah, Roy Anderson has now also put it behind the wall on the 48 machine, which we can go right on board with him now. As the accident, nowhere to go. Oh, hard hit. I think it's down the track. It's hit a couple of times before getting hit again. Spins in the inside wall pretty hard there. I'm going to go on board with the 1 machine here, Jason Pop. Or Pop. So now, 33 machine with an line penalty. Oh man, hard hit in the 48. And it's turned around by somebody and then spins into the inside wall. Right rear first. So that will now put us under the third caution flag of the night. We had a really good couple of green flag runs there. And unfortunately, that kind of all fell down the drain there pretty quickly. As you now have a couple cautions in a row, but no sense giving up, no hope lost. Gone a long ways. I think we can continue to do that as now actually, let me see if we keep bringing in the race leader here, Jay Spears, in the number 7 machine. Jay Spears got a capping. Jay Spears got a capping.
What happened? Hello?
Hi, so Jay, you currently find yourself in the race lead. You've led 10 laps here so far of the 27 laps completed. We've had a couple long green flag runs here to start off the night, and unfortunately a couple quick cautions recently now have kind of ended that streak, but you managed to kind of find yourself in the front of it all here. Just talk about how the race has gone so far for you, and what are your plans here to try to stay up front all night?
I mean, I got caught up in the first incident and already had to use one of my repairs, so I'm just going to try to stay out front and keep it out here, try not to get caught up in anything. I'm pretty good on fuel, so I don't think I'll need tires or need to pit or anything, so just going to try to keep it up here, not going to be aggressive or anything, just hold it down low and hope for the best.
And it seems like so far the majority of the accidents have been the classic plate track bumper hook. And it's something I've noticed being in the sim here for a while, and also so far in this race, is that it's really hard to tell when you're pushing the guy in front of you in these cars compared to the Cups or truck or Can-Am even. I've noticed that I've gotten hooks quite a few times, and guys just saying they don't know, and you don't feel like you're pushing the guy in front of you until all of a sudden they get turned around. So you kind of feel like that's the way it goes. Obviously, you haven't caused an accident so far, but you kind of feel like it's hard to tell where your nose is as far as the Xfinity car goes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get exactly square with someone. I mean, you hit them either way and it turns them. I drag the brake a little bit behind someone just to make sure I stay off of them to avoid any, issues, so.
Alrighty, we appreciate your interview here, Jay, and good luck in the race.
Thank you.
That is the race leader now, Jay Spears, in the number 7 machine, and pace lights are out on the iRacing.com official Ford Mustang pace car. This guy stacked up the fire once again. Approaching halfway here in just a few laps, so getting through this one pretty quickly here tonight. So far, but hopefully precautions saying does not go into effect here, because it's kind of started to happen here. We've kind of gotten the ball rolling now. Will it continue rolling down the hill? And that's the question. And we're of course all hoping that won't be the case, because we don't want to see these guys taking out more accidents, as already the majority of these drivers have already had to use at least one, if not both, of their fast repairs. So the 7th race leader right there, he got caught up in the first accident. So I believe almost everybody in this field, unless somebody was staying in the back the whole time, has indeed been caught up in an accident. So they've had to use a fast or currently sitting out there with damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, maybe that will come into play with guys not being quite as aggressive and maybe realizing, hey, I don't have a fast repair left. I can't afford to get wrecked or cause an accident and get damage. Maybe they'll, back out a little bit earlier or not make quite aggressive moves and kind of be patient and wait to the end of the race. That's what I'm expecting to see here. That's the way it usually goes in the series. We have a pretty good run to start off with a couple cautions, and then it goes green for a long way. So I'm hoping that's what happens here, as we're going to have to wait and find out here as the pace car goes on to the safety of pit lane, and the 7 machine once again leads the field to the green flag. As he is on the gas, the green flag is flying here from Daytona once again. And a pretty good restart there, both for the 38 and 7 machine on the front row there. As we get up through the gears now. much dead even though as they get up to speed. 38 though actually goes to the racetrack just a little bit. And let's see some guys behind him will drop back to 30 to 42 and 84. Kind of fell back there just a bit, got separated, so that's going to cost the outside lane the most they had. He was 81 now for the race lead. Ethan Fournier. He wants to get back out in front. He's going to get pushed with the 38. Oh man, almost gets hooked over onto the corner. But 38, Chris Hutchins did a great job off the turn right there. So he's going to try to push him to the race lead. As they come off turn 4, we've seen a 781 go side by side for much of this race so far. Oh, as the 38 almost hooks 81 again off the racetrack with 81. Ethan Fournier has a great save to hold on to that race car. Is now complete lap 30 of 65. Again, the 38 is going to be very careful not to hook that 81 machine. That is definitely not what we want to see. We've already seen that happen a few times here tonight so far, so that's not going to be very good. As the 7 goes. Oh, there it goes. He hooked him. Oh no. Tough rate for the 501 machine. It's all wrecking. No caution flag. There it is. 44 taking out the 38 Chris Usher pair. The 4, 81, the 30 to 66. The 42, 6 of Russ Nash. All tore up. You saw that 501 machine got a lot of damage from that. He actually towed it straight to pit road, and he already has been taken out in 2 accidents and got involved in that last one. So he has not had the night he wanted after getting a pole and leading in the first few laps to kick off the race. So tough break for Brendan Wilson there in that 501 machine. But now it's a look back what happened there, and unfortunately, another bubble hook happens. They managed to save it the first couple of times. But 3 times the charm was not going to happen, as I guess we can always just go trying to figure out what exactly. Hold on, my apologies. For some reason. There we go. Apologies for that. So, 38 Chris Hutchins in that Valvoline Chevrolet. Pushing 81 there, Ethan. And they come off the corner. And let's look here. Looks at the 7 kind of drifted up off the bottom. I'm not sure if he tried to block or if he just maybe didn't pay attention, didn't hold his line quite well enough. 81 thought he was going to come up the racetrack where he wasn't clear, so the 81 went up the racetrack. 38 went up to follow. And as 81 tried going back down the racetrack, the 38 was trying to push him and tries to follow him. Accidentally just touches that right rear, like we're going to see all night long. Gets turned in the outside wall, goes back down the track into 38. And then, oh man, nowhere for the 501 machine to go, or the 30 to 66. They all piled in the 42. 501 machine has been caught up in a lot of accidents that were not his fault at all here tonight. Tough break for him. The 9 machine piles in. The 44 gets tagged. 84 of Xavier Chavez, great miss right there. The 4 then hits the spinning 66. And he gets tore up a little bit there on the right side. So now we're going to go on board with the 38 machine here of Chris Echeper. Figure exactly what happened right there. So you're going to see her going out of the corner. The surgeon's up. 81 goes up. 38 goes to follow him. And, oh, man, just turns in then. Tough break with the 501. He actually locked back, trying to avoid it, and then couldn't quite do it. 38, I think it took around once again. Just for a big slide here through the grass. So tough break for a lot of these drivers getting caught up in this accident. I'm going to go on board with a 44 machine here, Jeff Spooner. They all wreck, tries to miss it. Oh, it just gets tagged in the left rear. But however, even though they got tagged in the left rear, it does not look like, so far so good. It does not look like he actually got hit by anything else. So I think he should be good enough to just kind of use some optional repairs there. Yeah, not too bad. Left side tore up a little bit. That's pretty much it. So nothing too severe in that machine as I'm going to go on board with the 501 machine of Brian Wilson, who again caught in another circumstance, not his fault. He was tagged in the right rear this time. He's been copping out 4 accidents so far. Nothing. He locks it down, trying to stop the wreck, and gets hit by a bunch of guys already wrecking. And then, hits the heck out of the inside wall so hard that our camera didn't even capture it, apparently. Man, oh man. That is really unfortunate. A lot of good race cars got up in yet another accident here, so Like, what if you accident so far here? Not, again, the way we want to start rolling things here, but, like, it's just the way it goes is, this guy is so way under the caution flag now. If you can get word now in with your pulsator here, the number 501 machine of Brandon Wilson. Brandon Wilson got it happy. Brandon Wilson got it happy. Got it happy? Brendan?
Yep.
There you go. So, yeah, Brendan, fortunate turn events. He got the pole to kick off the night, so on a high note, loved the first couple laps there on the green flag before getting bumper hooked there in the trial by the one machine. And I kind of went into a downward spiral from there, got caught up in another big one. Had to use both of your faster pairs pretty early. I got some rear damage in that third accident, or the second most recent accident. And unfortunately for you, innocent victim for the fourth time here tonight gets caught up in an accident in the right rear corner panel. Nothing you could do. So let's talk about maybe the disappointment, obviously, that kind of went and took place there, getting caught up in accidents that were your fault after starting the night off on a high note.
Yeah, it was a misfortune there on that first wreck, but I don't, like I said, you can bumper hook somebody so easy, especially on that trial oval. But yeah, the luck is not with us tonight. But yeah, I plan on hanging out. Hopefully, salvage some points out of this. But got about a 6-minute repair, so maybe I can get back out there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys bumper hooking. I mean, that's about, I think, the third or fourth accident now we've seen caused by bumper hook. So I just discussed this with the race leader, Jay Spears. But I know from past experience here, being on the sim and what I've seen so far here tonight, these cars are probably the most popular for bumper hooks. I don't know what it is, but just when you're driving the car, you can't really tell that you're pushing the guy in front of you until you end up hooking him around. And I've had that happen to me. I've turned people around before. I've gotten turned around, and I've seen a lot of people in broadcasts that have done that happen to them. Do you feel like that's kind of the case compared to the other cars here on the sim, especially the NASCAR stock cars, that you can't really tell when you're pushing the guy in front of you when you're going in the corner or not?
Yeah, it seems like with these cars, the front bumper, it does stick out further than it needs to be, but the trucks is not so bad, and the K&M cars is also another one. Bumpers just stick out pretty far, but the Cups to me aren't that bad, but these are probably the worst.
All right, well, this is the best of luck here in trying to fix that car and get back on track. As talk to you later here, Brendan.
All right, man. Thanks.
Green flag's out here once again from Daytona as Jay Spears on the gas here. Just 30 laps to go from Daytona. To get up once again through the gears here. Nobody misses the shift. Looks like it's all good and clean. The 7 though, absolutely no help from behind. So on 33 there, Tigger Khan going to push the 84 here to miss an accident there. Receiver trap to the outside, tries to get into the race lead. However, here's the one now. Jason Pop carrying the 38 of Chris Etcheper is a big shot to the back shoulder, the one into the rear of the 7. They were teammates, so no issue right there. It's the 33. Oh, maybe they save it. What a save. Oh, no, they didn't save it. Never mind. Oh, maybe. Yes. Oh, my gosh. That was truly amazing. Oh, my goodness. What a save. That is replay worthy whether the racing or not. My goodness. That was some nuts. Crazy race right there. So it's out of 33. He got pushed. He was pushing 84 auxiliary trap. Tries to get clear of the 7. He's not clear. He comes down, makes contact with the 7. gets the 7 machine loose. He then clips the apron, gets back into the left rear of the 33. He turns right to avoid getting turned. The 7 somehow manages to hang on to the 42s on the apron. They're all somehow good to go. Great save by the 7 and the 33. The 9 then decides for some reason to drive up the racetrack, putting the 38 machine, Chris Etchebear, into the outside wall. He then goes down the racetrack, and man, oh man, that was close. Great driving for sure there by a lot of these drivers. As they all managed to hang on at first to the 38, and a lot of guys ended up losing the draft because of it, but that puts down the 84 Xavier Trap out in the race with you, Jason Pop, your Talladega winner, with Jay Spears, excuse me, right there behind him. So got quite a few guys here all lined up and whatnot. There's it. One machine out to the outside. Looks with the 7 though. Jay Spears will actually fake him, ditches him, goes back in the line now behind the 84 Xavier Trap as Taylor Khan will try to push that 1 machine to the race lead here. Try as close as possible without touching them. Try to push them up further forward ahead. As actually looks at the 1 machine will lead this time by at the stripe, give us yet another lead change to add to the total list of lead changes so far. Which of course we look at here as we just pass halfway. And actually the 1 gets clear of the inside lane. Gonna drop down just in front of the 84 Xavier Trap. Very close right there. Leaves the 33 out to dry. As now the 84 Xavier Trap might be trying to pull a crossover here. Goes back out maybe and top. Nope, maybe not. 42 looks like he'll actually push the 33 now. But anyhow, we've had 12 lead chances so far. As now there may be 13. Here goes 84. Like I mentioned, Xavier Trap going into the corner, however. It's not exactly the best place to make that move. But it's going to work out for him nevertheless, as the inside lane really does not have any help. Actually, now the 7 will go up there with him. So this is the 1 machine. Xavier Trap I'll lead this time by the strip, give us our 13th lead change of the night. The 33 tandem drafting here. They get a huge push down the front straightaway. Actually got to pull away from the pack here just a bit. They're actually going to run single file around the top. This has not really happened that much around on iRacing, but so far so good. These guys are actually trying to link up single file and run this top side here at Daytona. Very interesting line, of course. I mean, you see that a lot happen in real life, but not usually here in the sim, as everybody pretty much linked up around the top side. Nobody really trying to make a move. As of right now, it was a 7. He's trying to get a run, but they kind of got spread out because of that great push in there by the 33 of Taylor Khan. And the 1 of Jason Pop trying to make a run of the inside, but doesn't have any help to do so. So come across the finish line, 25 laps to go now from Daytona. It was the 7 machine down low now in front of the 42. We're going to try to battle these 2 guys that are pretty much linked up together here nice and well. 33 right there behind the 84. We're the 84. Come down in front of the 7 machine to kind of block his run while he stay up there with the 33. So actually, yeah, the 7 kind of stalls out there as the 1 kind of ditches them. The 7 then pulls up in front of the 1 adjacent Pop going down the back straightaway. Kind of blocks his run. Now they get linked up. As now the 1 adjacent Pop going to go down low, tries to fake pretty much around the 7 machine. You're going to try to push him up ahead here, I think, next to these guys, and then potentially ditch him and go back in top. We're going to have to see what happens here as they're going to, once again, across the finish line and complete another circuit here around Daytona International Speedway. As now here goes the 1 adjacent Pop looking the outside once again, but can't quite get his nose right there. As some of his 33 is not overheating. Not quite sure how, but here was the 44 now. Jeff Spooner. I'm not talking about him much of the night, except for unfortunately getting caught up in a couple of accidents. He now finds himself rattling for 3rd place on the outside of Jay Spears and Jason Pop. We almost hook each other right there. Very close. Don't want that to happen again. As now Willie 84 Xavier Trap come down and block the 7 machine where he saved there with his buddy 33. Looks like he'll actually elect to stay up in that top lane. He does get the run off the corner, but now the 7 are going to surge ahead as we go into the travel. Oh, the 7 gets hooked! And then we got another wreck, and now is once again going into the tri-oval. Another bumper hook off the nose of the 1 adjacent Pop. He actually now finds himself in the race lead. And definitely not something he wanted to do. The Talladega race winner. Unfortunately, going to cause a 2nd accident here at Daytona. Obviously not intentional by any means, but tough break, of course, for him. Watch here once again. Pushing the 7, a lot like what happened to the 501 machine early on. hooks him down to the left, goes back in line behind him, and accidentally right hooks him up the racetrack. And we saw the submission made an amazing save before. He would have had another one right here. Unfortunately, there was 2 cars on his outside that they could not avoid him. 84 actually spins across that finish line first. It'll be that by, but gets hooked around by 7 and 33. Also gets hit and gets put into the outside wall. And amazingly, it looks like only a 3-car accident. Is a great job there with the 44, the 1, the 42, the 66. All these guys to miss that accident, along with looks like the 30 machine right there. Nobody really involved too badly. So I'm going to go on board with the 33 here of Taylor Khan, excuse me. See him up here pushing 84, been pushing with him for some time. All of a sudden, there's a car. Man, nowhere you can go. Hits 84 again. Making me have to use the fast spare if he has one left. That is the question. And I got on board with the 84 machine here. Oh, pretty hard hit right there. Tough break for him. So I'm on board with the number 7 machine here of Jay Spears. Just gets hooked. All it takes. Hits him again, almost actually sends him over onto his lid, so not something you want to see right there, of course. Seven machine gets hooked down and then back up exactly where we saw earlier, except this time 7 kind of kept it more straight to go on the wall head on. There's also less cars in this pack to get involved, but obviously not of course we want to see, but so they are going to use their fast spares if they have any left, actually. So the 33 does have 1, so he'll use his fast spare. The 7 machine will have his being used. 30 actually is still damaged on the 66, maybe. No, that was actually going to be clean. There's 84 still in his pit stall, so 38 can offset right now with a lot of damage. 501 is returned back to racetrack Brendan Wilson. And I find myself in the race lead is that number 42 machine of Nathan Hall. Electing to stay out here. They're not getting damaged, so no reason to pit. Kind of the 20 laps to go now. Yeah, no reason to pit, so. Interesting to see what exactly happens here. If he decides to stay out here and not pit, we're going to see if we can't get a word in here with him. And that number 42 machine, as long as he does not pit here. If he does, then I'll let him be. We're going to see what his plan is here. Will he come down pit road? Will he stay out? So we go sit in the racetrack. So we're going to get a word in here with the current race leader Nathan Hall and the number 42 machine. If not, I got a copy.
Hello.
So Nathan, you're going to find yourself in the race lead for, I believe, the first time here tonight. At Daytona with just less than 20 laps to go under the caution flag, of course. You decided to elect to stay out, not take any tires, not take any fuel. And obviously, that's not a huge concern as long as you're big on fuel. You don't really have to pit. So making it through the accident, now find yourself up in the front for the first time here tonight. We're talking about how you're able to work your way up here to the front and your strategy and what your game plan is here to try to stay up in that first position.
Well, we're going to do what we can. Honestly, it depends on who's I've got behind me. I know Scott was talking about coming down here. If I can get Bobby behind me, I think I'm going to take the bottom. From there, we'll just go with whatever happens. Hopefully, I can keep her up front and keep it straight and win this thing.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of bumper hooks so far in this one, as you'd expect in the Xfinity cars. It seems pretty popular in these cars. So, do you feel like you've had any close calls necessarily? Because I know I don't believe you've been hooked around or hooked anybody Have you had any close calls? You kind of gotten pushed a little bit hard and almost get turned around, and talk about how you're going to try to manage that going throughout the race here and trying not to get wrecked.
Well, considering I really haven't been in an aggressive situation yet, I've been kind of laying back. We'll have to see what happens. Honestly, I prefer pushing somebody if I can and then getting around it at the end. But if I can hold the lead, I'll do what I can and go from there.
Yeah, of course, and seems to be a pretty much issue so far here, as we've seen quite a few big ones take out a lot of drivers. They got any fast burrs left from that 42 camp?
I'm sorry, what was that last part I was talking?
I said I've seen a lot of guys get taken out here so far with running out of fast burrs. Do you have any left at all?
Yes, so got one left.
All right, sounds good. Well, wish you best of luck. Any chance to win the race there, Nathan, and pleasure to talk to you after the race.
Hey, appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
And that's your current race leader now, Nathan Hall, in the number 42 machines. This time, double file. He'll actually elect to start on the outside, so we heard him kind of say he's going to start on the inside. He actually decides to stay on the outside lane with the 66 machine there of Scott Leitner on his inside. So, going pretty well. It's the 81 machine up here most of the night. He's starting right there in fourth. The one adjacent pop. Put a couple people in the travel, but he's also been really fast in that number 1 machine. He'll like to finish where his car number is. Got the 7 back here of Jay Spears, who's been caught up in a couple accidents that weren't his fault, two at this point now. So he doesn't have any fast bursts left, to the best of my knowledge. As you heard him got caught up in that first accident, so he's gonna just pretty much drive his way through the field here at the end of the race and hope not to get caught up in an accident, which is not extremely likely. So that's pretty much his goal at this current moment. And he's got a very fast car, very fast and clean driver we've seen so far. He's been willing out there. He almost saved it last time, but unfortunately got into the cars on his outside, so he couldn't quite do it. But as now that 42 machine and the 66 on the front row lead the field to the green flag, lined up behind the iRacing.com official pace car, which will pull down onto pit lane. And the 42 machine will lead the field to the green flag, which is flying. And back up to speed here at Daytona for another restart. What will we see happen now in this run? Still just under 20 laps to go, so it's not necessarily go time and you know, race your heart out at this current moment, but obviously, you know, you don't want to be way back in the field as you continue to count off these laps one by one. But you also don't want to be taken out in a wreck if you don't have any fast bursts. Chris 38 now. Chris Usher making some moves. He's working his way up to the field. 42. Nathan Hall drops down in front of 66. As now 66 almost gets in the left rear of the 81. And 38 almost gets in the left rear of the 84. There's some aggressive side drafting here. Very close calls. Now 33 looks like he's going to pull in line behind that 38 machine on the inside lane back there. We're going to try to tuck up here. The travel, the 42 lead that time by the stripe. There's just 17 laps to go now from Daytona. 81 machine now getting pushed. The race leader looks like here. Ethan Fournier not quite clear of Nathan Hall in that 42 Chevrolet, so we're going to stay up there with the 1 machine on that top side and hope for the best here. Down by Chevrolet has a pretty good run. Actually gets clear of the 42 machine now. Really dropped down low in front of the ways at the 1 machine with him. Looks like they might drop down to feel that. Oh, the 1 no! With a great move the inside of the 81. Pushed him out in front and got clear, jumped down and took that position right away from his adjacent pop. With a great move now, working his way up to the race lead in front of the 42 and the 66 machines. With just now 16 laps to go. 81 going to try to fight back here on the outside, however. He did have it right there. Kind of made a mistake, but still quite a ways left to go and a lot of time to make it back up, as now the guys leaving him and wobbling there. I'm very careful here not to hook each other again. That will not be very good, especially these guys who don't have a fast spare left. So 84 pushing the 44, pretty aggressive right there. Very close. You got to check it for the 81. Oh, the 30 into the back of the 66. It was almost a bump and run, almost a dump and run. They ended up somehow saving it. Another 81 and trying to block for the race lead. Oh, it gets turned sideways. They save it. Maybe with a car in the grass to 42 Nathan Hall. Oh man, he managed just to save it too. Great driving there. They all managed to gather back up, keep the car pointing in the right direction. So that 81 tried to block the 44. 44 jumped us outside and then tried to come down and got into the right rear of the 81, turned him sideways. Somehow they didn't all wreck it. The 42 then got turned down in the grass. But now the 33 of Taylor Collin, will push the 84 with Xavier's trap to the race lead. He might get him clear, yes he does. This 84 dropped down, or will he stay up there with his drafting partner who's been with Jeff for much of the night here? As Jeff Spooner now a contender for this one up front. It wasn't really like before. Now finds himself up in the front here. The 81 almost bumper hooks him. As 84 now, Xavier Trap leads by the stretch. Just add on to another list of the lap lead changes. Now the 81 tries to shove his nose under the 44. Around the 44. Does he save it? No, overcorrects, takes out a bunch of drivers. Now, oh man, 30 gets right hooked. The 1 adjacent pop. The 9, the 710, a lot of these guys do not have fast spurs left for sure. The 30 I do not believe does. The 1 does not. The 710 does not. That is a heartbreak for a lot of these guys. It was great racing up until that point, and I believe the 81 made an aggressive move. Getting into the closing laps here, got underneath the 44, made it 3 wide. The 44 just either didn't know he was there, decided to chop him, almost saved it. Again, unfortunately, all the great racing there and somehow saving all came to a close there pretty quickly. So now we're going to take a look here at the chopper camera behind this guy. Here you see, we're taking back here, coming off the travel, the 44 drifts up the racetrack. Maybe I should got bumped for the 81 right there. The 81 of Ethan Fournier jumps the inside. He's just right there in the left corner part of the 44. I guarantee you heard he was clear in the spot. I went down in front of the 81. The 81, honestly, in my opinion, probably should have backed out there, but when you're racing this hard for the lead, things like that are going to happen. The 44 then, I guess, decided to hook a hard right, and that's what took out the entire field. He probably would have saved it, not caused a single accident. We would have been good to go, but he ended up overcorrecting big time up the racetrack. Really hard hit into the 38 Chris Edgepair, who also does not have fast for the 1 710. The 30 just gets clipped right at the end of it. Hard hit in the outside wall. 66 also piling in. The 9, what a miss. The 9 machine there. We're going to take a look now at that. Oh my gosh. The 9 of Brian Buzard. Great wreck avoidance right there and a little bit of luck on his side. Gets him through this accident here. As we're going to see. We're on board now with the 9 machine. You see the contact against the 44 down. Overcorrects big time. And how does the 9 make it through this? Drops to the bottom. Just continues on the brake. Just makes it around the 1. Just makes it around the 30. Doesn't even have to go in the grass. Great job to miss that accident by the 9 machine there, Brian Buzard. Is now going to go on board with the 44 of Jeff Spooner as this all took place. Here they used the racetrack, and he did get clear of the 81, but then the 81 just didn't like the fact he cleared him, and then it was gonna be good to go until he hooked a hard right, and we saw what happened after that. So I'm not quite sure if he thought he was gonna spin out going to the grass or what there, but I don't know. Hooking a hard right, kind of tough call to make there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. Not exactly a great move there with the 44 of overcorrecting. Maybe didn't know he was doing the wheel to out of the right. Not quite sure. Who exactly knows here? But I don't know. Right on board now with the 81 machine, and as this all happens, you see right here behind the 44. Actually, they kind of bump up the racetrack. Then he shoves his nose underneath the 44. The 44 gets clear, and the 81 just doesn't let out of it and hooks him. And then 44 hooks a hard right, overcorrects big time, and takes up the entire rest of the field. So a lot of the drivers now are going to pretty much be taken out in that one, at contention anyhow, at least. As I'm going to go on board with the 30 machine of Bobby Hash, who again, because caught in an accident, not of his fault. You see the car gets turned. It's a hard right. Manages to miss it and just gets tagged with a 710 machine. A hard hit in the outside wall, head on. Really, really tough break right there for him. Actually, I'm going to take a look now from the chopper camera here in slow motion of this all happening. You See, he already has some damage, so I'm taking a while, guys. He misses the 38, creates an extra pair, and a great miss. It's all good to go with the 7 out of 10. Oh my gosh, just barely clipped his right rear as he went by. Just a second earlier, and the 30 would have made it through the accident, and instead, it's a hard hit in the accident, which ends his night here. Really, really close. Tough break for that 30 machine right there. But now, the 84 machine now, Xavier Trapp. Looks like he's going to find himself in the race lead here. For first time under caution, at least. So we're going to see if we can't bring him into the broadcast booth. Xavier Trapp, got it happy.
You got me. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Well, anyhow, Xavier currently finding himself in the race lead. Once you cross the finish line this time by, it'll be 10 laps to go, and that's the same amount of laps you've led here so far in this event. So you and the 33 have seemed to be hooked up quite a bit here, just like we kind of tandem drafted earlier before a couple accidents happened there. So you seem to be working pretty well together. Now, obviously, you're going to restart side by side. Are you planning to working on with him? Is it just kind of working out that way, or just talk about your strategy here to try to go for the win? We've less than 10 laps to go in this one.
Well, we've been working together the last couple of races. We seem to work really well together. I hope we can hook up. I hope I don't end up backwards before the end of the race, but if I get the chance to work with him, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and of course, excuse me, we've seen continuous amount of bumper hooks here, and just the racing gets more and more aggressive. The bump draft gets more and more aggressive as guys try to push each other for the win. I guarantee, of course, we're probably going to see another one of those happen here. Where do you feel like it's kind of the most aggressive? Is it kind of in the front of the pack? Because we see most of the wrecks kind of happen like third row or so, where a guy gets hooked, not even necessarily great for the race lead. So do you feel like maybe the good shot, maybe in the safe zone, being really up in the front of the spec?
I mean, the wrecks have been happening everywhere all night, so it's difficult to gauge where the issue is going to be. I hope to stay in front of it. It looks like what's happening is the wrecks start third row, and they just kind of accordion backwards.
Alrighty, well, wish you luck here, and the rest of the race here is go for the win here, Xavier.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is your number 84 machine, Xavier Trapp, the driver behind the wheel of that Ford Mustang, one of the only few Fords, I should say, few non-Chevys here. Is got a Ford, got a Toyota, got another Ford, go way back here, Toyota, and that's pretty much it for your field. So not a lot of guys left really necessarily in a non-Chevy. Chevy seems to be the most popular manufacturer here tonight, but there's a Ford leading the field right now in two different places on race position and on as far as the pace car goes. But that pace car now works its way on to pit lane, and 84 machine Xavier Trapp will try to go for the win here at Daytona. So he gets some gas and back. Green flag here from Daytona. It's a pretty good restart by the inside line. The 33 actually looks at the 84 will go up there with him. So again, they're going to try to work together here, but now this opens the opportunity now for the 81 of Ethan Forninger to try to jump to the inside, take advantage of that. Help from the 7 of Jay Spears, who's now working his way up through the field cleanly. Again, he does not have a fast spare left, so the fact he's able to make it through that wreck, get back up here and try to push his way to the race lead, pretty impressive. Now, obviously doesn't want to come up short here. His next time by will give us 8 laps to go in this one, so not a ton of time left to race. Now this is go time, and remember, just a quick reminder here on the iRacing simulator, Josh comes out, we're 5. Oh, the 81 gets hooked. Oh no! The 84 Xavier Trapp and a big slide back to the inside wall.
Make sure everything looks okay.
42 locks it down, gets a bit of damage. He actually slides on a pit lane, but nothing too severe for him, I don't believe. But classic bumper hook out of the race lead by the 7, who I just mentioned, works with the field cleanly. Not so much anymore. He now finds himself in the race lead, but a very tore up race car. He really does not have any chance of actually winning this race with all that damage. Really did not want to see that happen, of course. Out of the race lead, that's really, really tough. As Chris Etcheberry actually and Jeff Spooner both bit beyond the wall. Just a little notice there for you guys. But it's going to happen here in the accident again. Aggressive bumper hooking, or I should say pushing leads to bumper hooking, and we've seen that so many times over and over again here tonight, unfortunately. And it'll lead us back into the caution flag of 7, right there behind the 81. And all it takes, got the left for corner pedal coming off turn number 4, hooks him around, and there goes your entire race field in one corner. The 7 then he gets pushed up by the 81 and clips the left rear of the guy we just interviewed. So my interview course continues here as the 33 gets in the outside wall. I don't believe got much more damage than that, though. The 9 gets hooked up the racetrack. The 42 actually comes barreling through there. Unless he got damage earlier, he actually did not get involved in that. So that's pretty amazing. 30 machine, you still got that front end damage and whatnot. The 4, a lot of these guys actually missed in the accident, so pretty good record points for a lot of these drivers. Now we're going to go on board with the number 84 machine here of Xavier Trapp. So interview course continues here. I can create part 2 here. Actually, I might have to create part 3 at this point. As Xavier Trapp here on the outside, Gilmore gets hooked and just gets the left rear. And then he tries to keep it off the inside wall. It's a great job trying to miss it, but backs it in not too severely, but pretty hard. So it's going to be tough to fix if he doesn't have a fast spare, which I do not believe he does. So it's a tough break there for sure. Of course, not we want to see by any means. So I'm going to go take a look now from the eye in the sky here for this once again here. See, start really aggressive pushing and just hooks around. 81 gets hooked around. Gets hit with a 4, really hard hit right there. 66 and 9 gets hit up into the outside wall. 81 then hits him once again and just goes from bad to worse pretty much. But a tough break for a lot of these drivers is now the 7 machine finds himself in the race lead. Actually looks like he might stay out here, even with all that damage on that GoDaddy Chevrolet. Looks like he actually will stay out here under this caution flag. 66 right there in second. He actually has a pretty clean race car. So we're gonna have to see what happens here in this one. But we're taking you into the final commercial break of the night. So don't go away. We're back to see the finish here from Daytona. Mike Live here, 2 Daytona International Speedway, and we're going to try to get in here a quick interview with one of your top drivers here just before they take the green flag, if we are able to. Get in your second place driver right now, Mr. 26 machine here of Scott Leitner. Scott Leitner, you got a copy?
Yeah, hi, Lucas.
Hey, so currently find yourself on the outside front row here. In a pretty good spot here, battling for the race lead. We're going to go back to green flag, only 4 laps to go. So it's pretty much a dash to the finish here You looked like a pretty clean race car. Looks like some rear end damage, but nothing on the nose, which should be pretty much good for aerodynamics. The car on your inside are pretty tore up, and a lot of guys around you. So, how do you feel about your chances here to try to pick up the victory here tonight at Daytona?
Oh, I don't make it any doubt to anybody that I hate the outside lane. I mean, I know Jay's damage and stuff. We're talking team speak together, and he's got some significant right side damage, but it was his choice to go inside. So I'm going to have to wait and see if I can get a push from Eric Reinhardt to get to the lead.
Alrighty, well, I'm not going to hold you back too long, but any other maybe plans here, maybe strategies to try to win this race?
I'm just going to have to try to push it as far as I possibly can. I tend to have a slow start on the outside, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Alrighty, well, let's go here, Scott, and good luck. As your current second place driver in the number 66 machine, but again, caution flag comes out with 5 or less laps to go. The race will end under yellow, and as soon as we take this green flag, as soon as the next flag ends it pretty much, whether it's the checkered or the yellow, because we'll have the yellow under the checkered, or the checkered under the yellow if that's the case. If that makes more sense to you, I apologize if that confused you. But anyhow, the 7 Jay Spears lead field to green flag with the 66 on the outside as they get up to speed here. Who has the least amount of damage? 66 with a good run, and 7 tries to block him. But the 66 fights back on the outside. He was the 30 now, trying to push the 7 machine. Oh, the guy in the black, the 5 guy in the back, excuse me. 3 wide for the race lead. The 30 of Bobby Hash. A great move through the middle. Gonna get around now into the prime position in the race lead. It's the 5-1 machine. Brandon Wilson is the one who blew up there in the back. As Dicey in position, trying to get the way towards the front. A lot of these guys, the 984 to 6 in that 4 machine. Here's 66 now, the huge head of steam. The 710 gonna maybe go with them as they got a huge run the 4. They try to go to the outside here, next to the outside wall. Tries to go 3 wide. Can't quite do it yet. Oh, behind the 66, almost hooks him. So might see another accident here. And the race, very, very close racing down the front straightaway now. Through the travel across the finish line of 66. We have time by at the stripe. And can he get clear now of this inside lane? 3 laps to go. 66 gonna get ditched by the 4. He's gonna be forced to go low now in front of the 30. 30 gonna check up for him here. But again, these guys a lot of damage. You thought the bumper hooks were bad before. Just wait until you see this. So these guys end up doing it here. Oh man, a little bit of side drafting, a little bit of rubbing there down by straightaway. Great racing right now. Hopefully it does not lead out to be a wreck, as it might be to 7-10, almost pushing the 30 into the 66 right there. As the 66 here of Scott Leitner holds on to the race lead. Coming up to just 2 laps to go. This time by the 4 of Cody Trudeau comes out of nowhere here at the end of the race to try to pick up and seal a victory. He's actually going to side draft and lead that time by the stripe, coming to 2 to go. 84 Xavier Trap has damage behind. He can't quite push him ahead. What will we see happen here? Just 2 laps to go. Also, remind you, if caution comes out, or they record the last lap, no caution flag will be displayed on the white flag. That is iRacing, that's how iRacing works it. So there will be no caution on the white flag. So it's just the checkered flag ends it no matter what. So this is that final opportunity for a caution to come out to end the race. As that 4 machine gonna get pushed down by the 84 here. But the 66 and 30 fight back on the inside. They're side by side, a pack of 7 here for the race win. Coming off turn 4 to see the white flag in the air. Here goes the 30, gonna try to make a move through the middle. Does it work? Oh, the 4 gonna cut him off. It's contact and around. Nope, they managed to save it. Side drafting, hitting and rubbing. They're 3 wide still for the race lead. And the 4 gonna try to cut him off. It's not gonna work. There he goes. August of 30. They somehow managed to save it again. No, they don't. They're right behind, but out of the battle for the race win. The 7-10, a couple of guys spin the 84 Xavier Trap. Down low. Tries to fake out at 66. Will he go with him? Will they build up a run here off of turn 4? Here they come. This is the final opportunity. The 66 going to try to push the 84 Xavier Trap to the race win. Off of turn 4, down low, down to the top side. Here goes 84. 66 leaves out the try. And Cody Trudeau will win here at Daytona. The 66 right there is left for corner panel. Couldn't quite get the job done, but what a finish here from Daytona. My goodness. And kind of fortunate that the 4 made that contact when I was after to see what exactly happened there between him and the other machine down there. But what a finish. The guy who was not really in contention all race long comes out of nowhere to pick up the victory here at the end. Great, well played out move there. Only 3 laps led, including the last couple laps there. So, amazing job by Cody Trudeau-Cote to pick up the victory here. Some endurance in the grass for that number 4 machine. The 4 machine gonna sit over here continuously on the front stretch. There's a 66 looks gonna burn down there in the grass. As we're gonna start interviewing some of your top finishes here. The 84 machine, Xavier Trap. And your first ones here. Continue this over here. Overall, what a finish here from Daytona. 3-1 at the line, pretty much. Doesn't get much better than that. So I'm taking a board now with your third place finish, Xavier Trap, now in the number 84 machine. Xavier Trap, got a copy.
I'm right here.
So, Xavier finished off and podium position here in third place, leading 11 laps here of the 65 completed, and pretty good rebound there by you at the end. You got caught up in that incident there between the 81 and the 7, got caught in the left rear, backed into the inside wall, but managed to rebound to finish third here, and come so close to victory there at the end, but unfortunately for you, come out just short, but overall pretty good rebound and overall a good race for you. Just talk about the closing laps there as they're wrecking behind you and trying to work with the 66 there to get around the 4.
Yeah, that was a nice rebound. I did all I could to try to push the 4 out to the lead. I tried to take him there at the very end, but I had too much left rear damage to do anything with him. I tried to back up to the 66, but he's got to go out for himself there the last couple of corners, and he got second, but it was a good rebound. Good night.
Yeah, we saw, obviously that push in there. Then he decided to, kind of leave it at the drive there and go for himself. And unfortunately for you, I kind of fell back to third. But any special shout-outs, thank yous, sponsors by Home 2-Way podium finishers tonight?
Well, I want to say thank you to Jason for running the league. I know it takes a lot to do, and appreciate his time and effort. And it's always good racing with these guys. First interview of the season, so I want to say thank you to him. Thank you to everybody that takes a part in this league, and see you guys next week.
I appreciate the time, Xavier, and have a good night. Alrighty, now a word with your second place finisher tonight, number 66 machine of Scott Leitner. I'm gonna bring them back with now. Got a copy there, Scott?
Yep. Hi, Lucas. Again.
A long time no see. Well, anyhow, you come up just shy of the victory here tonight after leading only 2 laps. Weren't really in contention for the lead much of the night, but you came back strong when it mattered right at the end of it there. And we saw that, the wreck there behind you. You managed to surge ahead, push the 84 machine there and try to go for it. Unfortunately, you ran out of time there as you got to the left rear corner panel of the 4 as you crosses that finish line. But overall, really good finish. Really exciting. We saw a lot of rubbing there, 3 wide action, and it came oh so close to winning here at Daytona. So let's talk about the run there, the racing in the 3 wide before the accident, and talk about the push there with 84 to try to get around the 4 machine.
Well, what it amounted to is prior to that, when I actually had the lead for a little bit, Cody's my teammate, and I knew we were talking in our Redline channel, and I knew exactly what he was doing and what he wasn't doing as we were coming up to the line, and Xavier was going with him, and at that point both got around me, and then Xavier threw the block, and I actually deked him out, and I couldn't believe it that I got in there, but it wasn't enough to try to get in underneath Cody.
And obviously, I know much haven't made it for themselves, so I get it down to that point. And do you feel like it maybe would have been different if you pushed the 84 machine? I mean, obviously, either way, you didn't really have a good chance of getting the victory there. You tried our hardest, it came also close. But did you feel like maybe it would have been different? Just your thought process there in the last lap there or so. Maybe if you stayed with the 84 machine and pushed around the 4, what would kind of happen there, or versus what move you actually made?
Well, at that point, I knew Xavier had some damage, and Cody actually had a very clean car. He had used his fast repair on the last caution that he came in, so I knew his car was completely fine. And if I had to get around him, there was no way I was going to be able to do it. The only thing I could do at that point is try to get a push from Xavier and then go see if I could get in under Cody. But it was too late. And I'm fine with that. I'm just glad I got a second place out of it. It's the best finish I've had in a long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Amazing finish there. Really exciting to commentate there. I was hardly able to keep up with everything that was happening, and really great racing. Congratulations on second, of course. Any shout-outs, thank you, sponsors by home to run out finish here tonight.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, DCH Crane and Express Auto Salon, and of course to my Redline teammates, Cody and Jason and Chris and Nathan. And Jay Spears is the newest member of the team. And of course to you too. Thank you for doing our broadcasts.
Oh yeah, of course. No problem. And congratulations on second here, Scott, and have a good one.
Thank you much.
There's the second place finish tonight, Scott Leitner in the number 66 Chevrolet there. Now talk with your race winner tonight from Daytona. The number 44 machine, number 4 machine of Cody Trudeau Coates, and we're in the broadcast booth now.
Psych.
Cody, got a copy.
Hey there, Lucas.
Hey, so you came on strong here at the end of it. Only lead 3 laps, but you led the final 3, I guess, that mattered there at the end of the race. Kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't really talk about you much of the race. It looks like you maybe kind of riding in the back there, avoiding the trouble, and you managed to take advantage of that, come up here and pick up the victory tonight from Daytona. And amazing finish there. Obviously, the 3-wide movement there with the 30 machine, a couple of 3-wide moves there that kind of gave him a shot. We saw the contact there, and eventually led to the wreck. Not obviously, I don't quite look at the replay yet, but we saw maybe you pinching obviously in the 30, kind of come beside you. Let's talk about what exactly happened there. Then obviously what was going through your mind there with the 84 and 66 kind of linked up right there behind you, trying to get around you.
Well, there was a lot of mess happening at the end with the number 30. I think he was net coding in and out of cars, so that's probably what led to that big wreck at the end there. But 84 and 66, like I run with Scott like all the time. He's a close friend of mine. So I know how to drive with him. He knows how to drive with me, and we always have a good chemistry. 84, I never really got to run with him much, but he's a good, solid, clean driver. He's really fast, and pretty much I just wanted to stay in front of them the whole time, just hold my line. I knew the outside line was going to be quicker, so I just stayed there and I was able to get the finish.
Yeah, and obviously, as I mentioned before, you kind of rode in the back, I believe, much of the race. I don't recall actually really seeing you much of the race anywhere towards the front. So really interesting and kind of smart strategy there, obviously, as you pull off the victory here. I wouldn't obviously want to come out and say it was a complete wreckfest by any means. It was a pretty good race overall. We saw a lot of big ones happen, though, once one car got turned around and whichever got taken out in it. And a lot of guys actually ran out faster pairs and suffered with us the race with damage or just put it behind the wall. So talk about the strategy there to kind of ride in the back and avoid the mishaps and the accidents and to come on strong at the end of it and pick up the victory here tonight.
That that actually wasn't my intentions coming into the race. I actually had computer problems earlier today, and I wasn't even at home, and my computer wasn't. I got here literally 10 minutes before the race would start, and I gridded up 10 seconds left, and I I immediately got wrecked in that first wreck, so I just hung out for probably about 30 laps or so, and I was able to get a lucky dog. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. I got a lucky dog, and that's when I took my chance. As soon as we got the next caution, I quick fixed my car because I saved them, and I guess that's what happened. I just I was able to have a brand new car when everybody else got wrecked out, and I was able to make my way to the front and start coming up with an attack plan.
Yeah, and certainly sounds like timing was definitely on your side here tonight, for sure all race long. But any special shout out sponsors, thank yous you want to shout out here that bring you home to the race winner tonight.
I'd like to give a shout out to my buddies at Redline. Like they stick by me no matter what, whatever I go through. They're always there. They're always a good group of guys I hang out with on the track. Um, I'd like to thank DCH Crane for sponsoring the iRacing E Series and Express Auto Salon. I'd like to thank you for broadcasting it every week and putting on a good show and making sure we get broadcasted and we can generate more drivers and really have a good strong racing series.
Yeah, certainly. And appreciate your time here, Cody, the interview. Congratulations on the victory, and maybe talk to you next week.
Thank you, Lucas. I'll see you next week.
All right, that was your race for tonight. Cody Trudeau in the number 4 machine, bringing home on top of the squirrel ball here tonight to run it off. And as we talk about the squirrel ball, take a look now at your results here from the Daytona International Speedway for the iRacing Series Season 1 race number 4 in the Xfinity cars here tonight. So your race winner, Cody Trudeau picks up the victory here tonight. Scott Leitner in second. Zero Trap rounds that out in P3. Taylor Khan had a pretty up and down night. Pushed 84 there much of the race. Ended up finishing third and fourth together. So pretty interesting there. He finishes off in fourth place. Russ Nash in the number 6 machine. He's going to run his top 5. Ethan Hall, Jay Spears, who was really fast much of the night, but turned the 81 machine there. Got damaged. Wasn't able to recover from it. So he finishes 7th here tonight. Eric Reinhardt finishes 8th. Robbie Hash 9th. And Brian Buzard rounds out your top 10. First one lap down, Ethan Fournier, as I mentioned, he got turned around with the 7 machine. He did finish 7 laps down in 11th place. Jason Pop right there behind him in 12th. Just Edge Pair a couple laps behind them. In 13th, Brandon Wilson had a really good night to start off, getting the pole lead in the first couple laps, and then just went down from there. Taking out a lot of accidents there that weren't any of us doing. Had to use all his fast pairs and ended up going several laps down for repairs and towing. In 15th, the 44 machine there, Jeffrey Spooner. 16th for Atchison, and then 17th Daniel Cross in the 27 machine. So that'll do it here for us tonight. So make sure you check out tomorrow night BHR GMR Management Series live from Lime Rock. So only the, I believe, second road course of the season for the BHR GMR Management Series. So we're pretty excited to see what exactly happens there for that event. And again, it's actually the elimination race in the round of 12. So we're going to have to see what happens for the drivers on the cutoff going into the round of 8. And of course, again, congratulations to Cody on the win. Appreciate watching here tonight, spending your Friday nights to hang out here with us on LCTV and at LCTV. Have a good night.